Good morning, everyone. Very good morning. We are going to start another session on numerical problems again. I hope the screen is visible, and we are going to solve for y2 of t. I just gave you as an assignment to evaluate the integral. I hope everyone has done it. And what you would get y of t as? Anyone? Y of t, that would be the second output with the overlapped function. You are going to get it as 1 by 2 minus 1 by 2 e power minus 2 times t plus 2. Okay, hope everyone has got this. And I've already sketched the overlap signal also. Okay, so how would the output be like? Y of t would be equal to, you have two outputs where y1 of t would be equal to 0 for t less than minus 2, and y2 of t equals 1 by 2 minus 1 by 2 times e power minus 2t, okay, minus 4. Okay, so this entire thing, or you can replace this here, okay, for t greater than minus 2. Okay, so that is what I wanted to show here. Okay, so what I meant was, so when t plus 2 is less than 0, okay, you have y1 of t to be equal to 0 and y2 of t when t plus 2 is greater than 0, right? So this entire term here, so once it is less than 0, you have the output to be 0, and this overlapped condition which is there, which acts as the second output, that is y2 of t, that is greater than 0 for t plus 2 greater than 0 there, right? So hope you got the solution how to find out. Okay, moving on to the next one, we have a similar sort of a problem where the second problem goes this way. Convolute two signals, which are continuous time domain 1, okay, where x1 of t and x2 of t, x1 of t and x2 of t. So x1 of t, that would be equal to cos pi t times u of t plus 1 minus u of t minus 3. Okay, I hope everyone is going through it. And I have x2 of t to be equal to a unit step function, that is u of t. Okay, so what do I need to find out? I need to find the convolution operation of it. So how do I find out? That is y of t, I have x1 of t convoluted with x2 of t, or other ways you can have x2 of t convoluted with x1 of t. So that is the output y of t. Okay, so if I have the convolution operation being applied, I have y of t. So where do I need to take? I'll be going for the first one where I can change this one, which is the unit step function. Okay, so how I can generally change is I can have the time shifting property applied here. Okay, so time shifting, and just before that you have the time reversal when the domain is changed. Okay, so from t to tau, once you are changing, I can have the domain to be changed. Okay, so I have y of t to be equal to x1 of t convoluted with x2 of t. Okay, so now I have the integral operation. It is not the summation. This is where you go wrong. Okay, so I have the integral operation being applied. So tau would be from minus infinity to plus infinity, x1 of tau, x2 of t minus tau d tau. Okay, so that is the output of the two continuous time signals, that is x1 of t and x2 of t. Okay, so now I have x1 of tau. How do I write x1 of tau? So cos of pi tau, that is u of tau plus 1 minus u of tau minus 3. Okay, so this would be the entire term. So x2 of t minus tau, that is there, that is u of t minus tau, which is to be written. Okay, so there you are going to evaluate these two signals with respect to the changed domain there. Okay, so next what you are going to do, you are going to sketch the signals. Okay, you are going to sketch the signal. Fine. So now, as I told you, where you are going to have the x1 of t signal, that is cos pi t. Okay, that is u of t plus 1 minus u of t minus 3. So how you are going to evaluate it? Okay, so anyone in the meeting can tell me where I'll be taking the first one and the second cosine term. What are the limits? How do I sketch the signal cosine? Hello? Is my voice audible to everyone? Is everyone there? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, are you able to see what I'm writing? Were you able to hear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, can you tell me how do I evaluate the limits? Is Shashank TR there in the meeting? Shashank TR. ಇದೀರಾ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ? Just a moment. Yes, unmute yourself and let me know how do I evaluate that. Tanushree? Tanushree ಎಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾರೆ? Where is Tushar? Yes. Can we have the discussion? How to sketch the signal? Cos pi t times u of t plus 1 minus u of t minus 3. How to sketch the signal? ಭಾಸ್ಕರ್ ಇದ್ದಾರಾ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ? ಭಾಸ್ಕರ್, you can unmute yourself and let me know how do I write the signal. ಭಾಸ್ಕರ್ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ? What is this? No one is able to unmute yourself and have a discussion. Is there any problem?
Hello,
Yeah,
sir.
Nishana, what happened? Everyone is muted.
Sir, don't know, sir.
Okay. Where is Bhaskar? Just inform him to call me after the completion of the class. Karthik Vakil?
Okay.
Yashas? Is Yashas there? Yashas M. Vedant Pandit?
ಎಸ್ ಸರ್, ಹೇಳಿ ಸರ್.
ಹೇಗೆ ಸ್ಕೆಚ್ ಮಾಡೋದು?
ಸರ್ ಅದು ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್.
ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ನೀವು ಬರ್ಕೋತಲ್ವಾ? ನೀವು ಬರ್ಕೋತಾ ಇದೀರೋ ಬೇಕೆ?
ನೋ ಸರ್, ಬರ್ಕೋತಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ನಾನು ವಿಡಿಯೋ ನೋಡಿ.
ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಬರ್ಕೋತಿಲ್ಲ ವೇದಾಂತ್?
ಸಾರಿ ಸರ್, ಇನ್ಮೇಲಿಂದ ಬರ್ಕೋತೀನಿ.
Okay. Just mute yourself. Okay. So now I have x1 of t to be equal to cos pi t, where I have u of t plus 1 and u of t minus 3. Right. Now, how to sketch this signal, that is x1 of t? I have the multiplication of two signals that is cos pi t, and the unit step function there, which is u of t plus 1 and u of t minus 3. Okay, so now you have the subtraction operation being performed here. So how I can rewrite this? I can rewrite it as cos of pi t times u of t plus 1 plus of minus 1 u of t minus 3. Okay, so this is how I can write it. Okay, so what I can expect is this signal here is a unit step function. It is a unit step function with what it is. It's an advanced signal. Okay, so it's an advanced signal. So u of t plus 1 would be from minus 1 to like n, whatever the value that it takes till n greater than minus 1, you will be having its magnitude to be equal to 1 there. And at the same time, u of t minus 3 with minus 1 being multiplied to its magnitude, you have, I think some of you have unmuted, just mute yourself. I have u of t minus 3 where you're being multiplied with minus 1. Okay, so u of t minus 3, it's a delayed signal with again unit step function. It is a delayed signal. Okay, so where you are going to have 3 units towards the right. Okay, so you are going to have 3 here. Fine. So only in this domain or with this time you are going to have minus 1 to 3. So there you can sketch cos pi t, right? So 0, this is 1, this is 2. Okay, so later you are going to have minus 1 on the left hand side. So 0, 1, 2, 3, and this one is minus 1. Okay, so let me keep on giving the values, right? So at t is equal to 0, you are going to have cos 0, that is 1. Okay, next at t is equal to 1, cos pi. Okay, what's the value of cos pi? Anyone? Shashank Gowda, what's the value of cos pi?
0.
Exactly. So you have minus 1. So I'm just marking the points here. So next, once you have cos 2 pi. Yes, Shashank, just let me know what is the value that you are going to get, cos 2 pi.
Sir, 1.
Yes, exactly. So now you have the cosine term. Okay, so generally you have the cosine term being there like this. Okay, let me erase here, I think. Yeah, so you have the cosine term being there like this. At 2 you are going to have 1, and at 3 you are going to have minus 1 there. So what it happens is, it happens to be like this. So it is written like this. Okay, so now at minus 1, so cos of minus pi, okay, cos of minus theta, that is, yeah, what it is, that is cos of minus theta is cos theta. So cos pi would be equal to minus 1 again, right? So again you are going to have a decrease like this instead of going away. So at minus 1 it comes here, right? So I'll just write the signal again neatly. See here, if the signal is to be plotted like this, that is x1 of t, you are going to have 1. Okay, so this one is here, this one is here, and this one which comes here, and at 3 you are going to have it like this. So now I'll be having the signal like this, right? So this is completely cosine term here. I've just I just wanted to write a neat cosine wave. So at 0 you're going to have 1, at 1 at 1 here. Okay, so at 1 this one here, and at 3 you're going to have a signal like this. Okay, so it is cut, it is not completely sine wave that goes here. So this part here, it is completely eliminated. So just because you are going to have a signal being terminated at 3 because of the unit step function being at u of t minus 3 with a negative sign. Okay, so now again the same thing at minus 1. Okay, so that is x1 of t, that is written like this. Okay, so what I wanted to see here is x1 of t So that is at 0, you're having 1. I just wanted you to show how did I sketch the signal. At 2, you're having again 1 here. Okay, this one was -1. Okay, so now you are going to have the signal being written from -1 to 3. Okay, so that is what I meant. Okay, so this is how do I write the signal. Okay, that one was for x1 of t. So you might get such problems, okay, where you will be having two signals being multiplied. So where you are going to sketch x1 of t first. Okay, now similarly sketch the signal, that is x2 of t minus tau. Okay, how do I sketch it? x2 of minus tau plus t. I'm telling you again, I'm just not writing all the problems. You have to solve it. You have to understand the steps that are being involved in the numerical problems. Okay, and don't just be in the meeting. I want you to observe if needed. Okay, if needed, you just have to write it. Okay, so even though I'll be sending you the study materials, it is not like that. You just have to sit back and relax. Okay, so see to it that you are going to solve each and every problem along with me. It would be quite useful where you are going wrong. Okay, so how to arrive at the signal and so on, we can able to find out easily. Now here I have done the time reversal. Next I'll be doing the time shifting there, right? So time reversal and the time shifting operation is to be performed. So how do I do it? So x2 of t minus tau, that is u of t minus tau. Okay, how do I write it? I'll be having a signal somewhat like this. I'll be having the shifted version of it, say tau. So somewhere around here you will be having t. Okay, so first you are having the time reversal property being applied. Next you are having the shifted version of it. Okay, so now I have the magnitude that's generally equal to 1 there. So I have x1 of tau and x2 of t minus tau, right? So that's how you can perform it. Okay, so this was the two signals that I have sketched here. Okay, so first I performed the time reversal and next I performed time shifting. Now observe carefully that in the first signal, that is the sketch of x1 of t. Okay, so now I want to overlap the signals here. The third step, what it is there was, after sketching, I need to overlap the signals, right? So now I don't know the value of t, but the signal x1 of t terminates after t. Okay, so t would be -1. So whatever the values, that is -2, okay, -3 and so on. So it is terminated here. So what I meant was, for t less than -1, x1 of t would be equal to 0. Okay, so for t less than -1, x1 of t is said to be 0, right? So now I need to multiply the signal which is associated. So what would be the output? Okay, can anyone tell me what would be the output y1 of t, the first output? There is no overlapping that is there for t less than -1.
0.
Yes, exactly. So that is 0 there, right? So how do I come to know that it is 0? So depending on x1 of tau, I have the signal which is terminating after -1 there, right? So -2, -3, it doesn't have any value for -2, -3 and so on, right? So -4 and so on. So that's the reason why I can generally say the signal, the output signal, that is y1 of t, to be equal to 0 for t less than -1, right? So where I can generally say that x1 of tau. So what I meant for overlap is I need to get the output, right? So if I get the output, I can generally say that I need to have the signal being written in some format. Okay, so some output will be there. Depending on the output in that region, you will be having the particular nature of the signal there, right? So x1 of tau, it is generally, okay, so terminates at -1, x1 of tau and x2 of t minus tau. x1 of tau and x2 of t minus tau do not overlap. Do not overlap, and hence y1 of t to be equal to 0 there, right? So that is one thing that needs to be present there, right? So for t greater than -1, now you observe carefully. So now you can generally get the output in case 2. Okay, so for t greater than -1 and t less than 3, if you observe carefully what I have written, for t that is in the range of -1 to 3. Okay, so what I can generally see there is I'll be having the overlap between these two regions there, right? So for t greater than -1 and t less than 3. Okay, so for t less than 3, along with the u of t minus tau signal. Okay, so you have to sketch the signal, then only you can get to know how the signal would look like. So this is u of t minus tau. Okay, this one was x2 of t minus tau there, right? So the overlap region would be from what we did in case of the first case. So we had t less than -1, right? So the limit would be from -1 to t. Are you getting this step? Very important one. Are you getting this step here? So this forms very important step. I know that you have a value from 0, 1, 2 and 3, so on. Okay, so the value would be the second case from -1 to 3. Okay, so from -1 to 3, but I have t as the limit there. So I don't know what would be the value. So I generally take the signal value to be equal to t here. Okay, that is the second signal, t minus tau. Okay, so t greater than -1 to t less than 3. So you have the overlap found. Okay, so you have the overlap found. Okay, so what I can generally do here is I'll be having the signal x1 of t. So if you superimpose on signal x1 of t and x2 of t minus tau, you can generally say that the overlap is found. Okay, overlap is found or obtained. Okay, so for these two cases, the second case is where you are going to have the overlap being found there, right? So now I need to find the signal output, that is y2 of t. Okay, so y2 of t, what do? I need to integrate it from -1. What would be the upper limit?
T.
T, exactly. So -1 to t. Now I have two signals output, that is cos pi t. Okay, so cos pi t is there, and be multiplying with 1 as the magnitude of the second signal, that is d tau. I think, yeah, d tau, not t. Yeah, d tau. Yeah, cos pi tau into 1. 1 is the magnitude of the unit step function that I have taken, and this is d tau. Okay, I'm evaluating the limits with respect to cos pi tau into 1 into d tau, the limits being from -1 to t. Okay, so how do I get the final result? So how do you evaluate the integral? Yes, what is the final result of evaluating the integral over there? Anyone?
Sin pi t by pi.
Sin pi t divided by pi, right? So that's what you are going to get it for y2 of t, that is sin pi t divided by pi, right? So if you evaluate the integral cos pi t into 1 into d tau, that is nothing but integral cos pi tau d tau. Okay, so you have the standard identities of integral, apply the limits from -1 to t, you are going to get sin pi t divided by pi there, right? So now the third case, okay, case number 3, where you are going to have t greater than -3. Okay, so sorry, t greater than +3 there, right? So for t greater than +3, how you are going to find out? Again, the integral is to be evaluated from -1 to 3. Okay, anywhere the integral which was there, so that was cos pi t into 1 d tau. So you had the integral to be evaluated for t greater than +3 case. Okay, so case number 3 where t greater than 3. Okay, so you are going to have the limits from -1 to 3. So, but the overlap is set to be 0. Okay. So, but the overlap is set to be 0 there. You don't have the overlap for the third output. Okay. So that's the reason why you are going to have no overlap found. Okay. No overlap found. Fine. So as x2 of t is being moved, you have the signal to have 0 output there, right? So once the x2 of t signal is being moved, you are going to have the output of the signal to be equal to 0. Okay. So when I take all the 3 cases, that is case number 1 for t less than -1. So from t, which is greater than -1, and t less than -3. So what you are going to get, that is y2 of t. Now I have y1 of t to be equal to 0. y2 of t, that would be sine pi t divided by pi. Next y3 of t, that would be 0 again for t greater than 3. So this is plus 3 here, sorry. So for t greater than 3 then, right? So you have 3 different outputs that you are going to get, right? So now you can cross check your answers in such a way that you are going to have at -1, okay? At -1, y1 of -1 will be equal to 0, and the other one, that is y2 of -1, so that will also be equal to 0 there. So cross verifying that at that particular instant of time, I'm referring it as 0. The output of the signal is set to be 0 there, right? So that's how you can generally find out whether the answer what you have got there is right or wrong. Okay. Any doubts in this problem? Feel free to interact with me. You can unmute yourself. As I already told you, I don't have any restrictions or something like that. If you feel that you are not understood the problem, do let me know, and see to it that you are going to repeat the problem at your place. Okay. So without the repetition or without any fundamental understanding of the problem, it is quite difficult to make you understand, right? So see to it that if you are not getting the problem, just go through it once again at your place, and I have already recorded the video, and see to it that you are going to see the videos where you are stuck or something like that. Okay. So we can it can make you understand quite clearly. Fine. So now let me go on to the block diagram representation. Block diagram representation. Block diagram representation. So this is the first case in block diagram representation, where you will be having the impulse response being obtained in terms of the block representation. So next coming classes, you have one more block diagram representation there. So using some difference equations and differential equations and given output of the differential equations and so on. So you are going to have one more block diagram representation. So block diagram representation of impulse LTI systems. Impulse LTI systems. Okay. So that is what you can find out. So you are having the representation of LTI systems. Representation of LTI systems. Okay. So now I have 2 cases here, so or 2 ways which I can find out, or I can arrange the blocks or subsystems which are there. So first one is the cascaded. So second one is, so cascaded, generally it means a series connection. Okay. So next one, you are quite well versed with the series connection and parallel connection of resistors. In the same way, you have the parallel combination of the network. Okay. So which is the parallel combination. So cascaded one, 2 systems, that is in generally in parallel, cascaded, and next one is the parallel one. Okay. So cascaded. Okay. So I have X of n. I have 2 subsystems or any 3 or 4 or whatever it is. So let me take two subsystems, that is H1 of n and H2 of n. Okay, so whatever that I'm doing it is for the discrete time system. Okay, the same representation holds good for both the discrete domain as well as the continuous time domain, right? So now the parallel one. Okay, so the parallel one, H1 of n, this one is H2 of n. Okay, so I have a block which is to be introduced here. I'll be calling it as, what is it? Any idea?
Summation.
Yeah, summation or summer. We generally call it as a summer there, summer block, right? So in case if you are modeling it via MATLAB and Simulink, so you'll be having this block called as summer or summation block, which is to be considered, right? So now this is how I can represent the cascaded mode of connection for impulse response H1 of n and H2 of n, which is generally called as the subsystems. Next, the parallel combination, which is called as H1 of n, again H2 of n, which are the impulse response of the system which is there, right? So if I want to understand quite clearly how do I get the output of the system, so how these two blocks can be represented by one single block, right? So that is one thing that I need to be very much clear about. Now I have the input as X of n and I have the output as Y of n. So let me take the first type of connection, that is the cascaded or a series type of connection. So I have Y1 of n as the intermediate output. Okay, so Y1 of n is the intermediate output. So now I need to perform the convolution of two signals, that is X of n convoluted with H1 of n to get the first output, that is Y1 of n. Okay, so now final output, that is Y of n. So how do I write it? Yeah, can I write it like this? Y of n to be equal to Y1 of n convoluted with H2 of n. Can I write it like this? Rachana is there in the meeting? Is Rachana there in the meeting? Okay. Now, so this one here, I can replace it with the signal, that is Y of n, that would be equal to X of n convoluted with H1 of n. Okay, so this one was for Y1 of n, right? So convoluted with H2 of n. Okay, so now I have the associative property being applied. I have X of n convoluted with H1 of n convoluted with H2 of n, right? So now I have Y of n to be equal to X of n convoluted with two impulse values, that is H1 of n convoluted with H2 of n, right? So I can have the equivalent value of the impulse signal being replaced as X of n convoluted with H of n. So where H of n is the convoluted signal of two subsystems, that is H1 of n convoluted with H2 of n. So you are going to get the final output as Y of n, that would be equal to X of n convoluted with H of n. So H of n will be equal to H1 of n convoluted with H2 of n. Fine. So just give a try to the parallel combination. So I'll just give you, I have the first output here as Y1 of n. I want you to try this the similar way what I did for the cascaded. I want you to make an attempt for the parallel combination of the LTI systems, the representation of LTI systems. Okay, so I have plus here, I can have plus or minus. The second one, I can have plus or minus. So what I want you to do is, I want you to find out what is Y of n. Okay, I'm giving this assignment to Vinod. Is Vinod there in the meeting? If he is not there, just inform him.
Yes, sir.
So he has
Yes,
to,
sir.
yeah, Vinod, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Vinod, I want you to do this parallel combination of LTI systems and let me know the answer by today. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay then, okay. So with this note, so we have completed the representation of block diagram approach in LTI systems. And in the next class, we are going to have the step response of the system. Okay. So only 61 are there in the meeting. I want the reason I have taken the attendance. So those who are absent, see to it that you are going to attend the classes regularly. Okay. So this is not the